I am very excited to have somebody who I have gotten to know, and I would say even love. It is, and the full transparency is Dean is my bonus daughter's new father-in-law, Dean Rana. He's the founder of AZ Truss Fab. We have been hanging out now for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I gotten to know your story, and we talk, and we've gotten along really well and had a lot of fun. And the more I got to know him, the more I started to really appreciate your success story, what you've been through, what you continue to go through. He's probably one of the most generous men I've met, nicest, easygoing, and let's just start before we get into stuff else. Kind of what your journey was, where you started. Because you worked for a truss.
Yeah.
By the way, should we explain what trusses are? Do people know what trusses are? Most people.
Well, if you live in a house, you probably have a truss on it. Okay. Right. So when you're driving down the road and you see those cranes kind of craning those A-frame, most trusses are triangular in shape. And when you see them, that's kind of what we manufacture and build. Right?
It's basically your ceiling. That's basically the thing that holds your roof up.
Yeah. Structural component. So, right. But thank you for the kind words, sir. I think, our relationship through the years has been pretty fun, right? Yeah. Getting to know each other. And you always want your siblings to come from, hang out with good families and, because we're going to be around each other a lot. So that's always kind of fun, right? We always enjoy our time together.
It was a bonus to have Caroline meet Dylan, your son Dylan, who is now going to be a father, by the way.
We're on baby watch.
We're on baby watch. This is the month. Yep. Yeah. So, and it is kind of a crapshoot on the family thing. Absolutely. I don't really like people that much anyway. So
little introverted.
A little bit. And so it's been fun to kind of get to know you, and was very, very surprising.
I put you in some uncomfortable situations, and you do really well.
But we split the bill on those deals, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Our wives probably think a little different, right? We put them in really uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. Well, if you're a good husband, you do that. Okay, so back to trusses.
Yeah. So, crazy. I mean, there's been a lot in my life, right? So I'm 54 years old. I sold my company 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
I've been a grinder my whole life. I worked at a car wash in high school. Started washing cars out front. Then the owner's like, "Hey, you're a pretty fast talking hustler. You need to go and sell luxury washes when they come in, right?" So I first started.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was like, "Hey, a regular wash is $5.99, but for another $1.50, you can get the luxury wash." So every hour I'd go in and see all my upsells, and that was kind of my first part of getting into sales, right?
Interesting.
I am a salesman, but I don't think I'm a good salesman. You kind of got to just be a bullshitter in salesman.
Oh, you're a good salesman.
So I started hustling in high school, and then I graduated Chandler High School. I've been in Arizona since I was 12. I was born in New York, left New York when I was 10, lived in Daytona Beach for 2 years. Fun. Remember driving the cars on the beach. You can still do that in Daytona Beach. And then I've been here since I was 12. So graduated Chandler High School, went to Arizona State. My first semester, got put on academic probation. And my dad says, "I'm not going to pay for this kind of effort." So I went to Mason Community College. Easy, 2 years, right? It's like high school. And then I went back to Arizona State. Got put on academic probation again, and that was it. Like,
you're no quitter, Rana.
You're done. So
you know what I mean?
My cousin was working in the truss yard, and I didn't know what trusses were, so I started in the yard. And
really, this was during your college years?
Right after. So,
by the way, I'd just like to add that when I was at the University of Montana, and I was a local boy and played on the tennis team, and in order to stay on the tennis team, I had to increase my 1.06 grade point average up to a 3. So that must be why we get along so well. A little bit of underachieving academically.
So I never graduated college, but I think, I think it worked out for me anyway. So actually my first introduction to trusses, I was running plans when I was in high school. The facility was on Southern Avenue, and I would run blueprints back and forth in the owner's Corvette. So that was kind of fun.
Nice.
So yeah, so I started. My cousin ran a truss yard. He says, "Hey, you know, come on out," and started building trusses. Didn't know what they were. Got good at it. Came all the way through the yard. Went into the office. Started designing trusses. This was, I think, I want to say it was in 92, 93-ish. Don't quote me on it. We can always edit dates, right?
Yep.
So started in the yard, moved into the office, became design manager to sales manager to vice president to president. Became the owner for about 5 minutes. Great story. That's another podcast probably. So I was let go in 2005 after I was an owner for about 5 minutes. And then
at the cousin's truss yard?
Yep. Moved my way all the way through. I was there from the beginning of like 92, 93 to 2005.
Wow.
Started, pushed the broom all the way up to becoming an owner. Then I left there in 05, started Truss Fab Components in 2005. 6 months after I left, we were shipping our first trusses after I got fired and then started. So that's pretty fast.
This is pretty important. So you got let go, and the next thing you know, you were starting a company.
Yeah. So one of my good friends, still partner today, was one of my biggest customers at Triangle Truss. We can probably say names.
Yeah.
And found out I got fired. Said, "Hey, let's do a truss plant."
No kidding.
Or maybe I called him. I think he says I called him, but I think he called me. I don't remember. Right? It worked out. So we started Truss Fab, and he had the property in Glendale, 13 acres, and we started it. And so I got let go in February of 2005, and we shipped our first package at Truss Fab in June of 2005. So we got that place up and running that fast. Yeah. And I think our first year of business, we did 8 or 10 million from June to December, and blew it up. Right, we grew it. Had some really good associates. So we had some great years. Right, went through all the recession and COVID and all these things. So we sold. So in between, I guess we're jumping around here a little bit.
No, you're good. I'm just looking at.
So I got sick in I had stage 4 lymphoma. Cancer, and had some back pain, and as typical guys, we always blow it off, right? And then I remember me and my wife and one of my good friends, Michael Miller, he was running my wall panel division. We're in California. I was buying a house in San Diego, and my back was really bothering me, and we're sitting at lunch, and Michael's like, "You probably have cancer." So my wife's like, "What the hell, Mike? Would you say that?"
A typical guy response, right?
Yeah. And I think that's what got me through all that was the sick humor, right? The texts and stuff I was getting. It's like, I had people texting me saying, "Hey, can I have your caddy if you don't make it?" Right. So I wouldn't show my wife those texts because she probably wouldn't at the time, didn't think they were funny. But
they have long memories too.
So I was flying back from San Diego, and I just couldn't get comfortable. My wife, Donna, bless her heart, by the way. I mean, if every man needs a good woman, right? And you've met my wife, and she's awesome.
She is awesome.
I'd probably be in the gutter if it wasn't for her. And I think we've been married 34, 35 years.
That's awesome.
So
she is a sweetheart now.
Yeah. So get on the plane. It was just brutal, right? Really bad pain in and then it started coming around to the front. So I went to the ER, and they said, you have lymphoma. And at first you're like, well, what are you talking about? And this is during COVID, right? So my wife couldn't even be there. So I got diagnosed by myself, called my wife, told her, hey, I got lymphoma.
You were alone in the ER.
Yeah. And which was at Banner Gateway, which is cool because it's connected to the MD Anderson Cancer Center on Higley in the 60. So we're going to move you to oncology now. It's like, whoa, holy crap. So I called my wife and said, hey, just FYI, I have cancer, and they're admitting me to oncology. Mess, bad, terrible situation. She couldn't be there. It's like, no, you don't. You have, kidney stone or something. It's like, no, they're admitting me. So I get admitted. I was there for about 4 or 5 days doing all the testing, and during COVID, right? So I can't. Anyway, so so all this is a lot. So I'm 3 years cancer free now, right? So I did 8 months of chemo. That was brutal. And so hence looking at maybe exiting my company, right? So I beat it.
So this is how many years ago?
This is, so I'm 3 years cancer free. So I want to say, man, I'm so bad on dates. Maybe I got.
Well, so like 2021, because it's like 2020, 2021 is COVID, right? So this is all during COVID. She can't come in and see you.
Right.
It's like one of the worst
I shouldn't be smoking a cigar. I'm not inhaling.
You don't inhale. And then you go through chemo, and in the meantime, your truss business is running.
Killing it, doing great, because we became essential, right, during COVID.
Yep. Same here.
We had a couple bad months, right, because all the sales center, the builders were closing down. It's like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? We already made it through the recession, which was brutal. We lost probably half the truss plants in town. I survived. We survived. I can't believe it, and I count my blessings every day. How did we make it?
Yep.
So now we're going through this again, right? COVID. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And then overnight we were able to keep shipping product, right?
So how long was the chemo? How long did you
I think
go
we
through
did,
chemo?
I did like 6 or 7 rounds every 3 or 4 weeks or something. So like 6-7 months of chemo.
Wow. Well, you also, just as a footnote, you also have 3 boys.
Yes.
3 handsome, very successful, very nice
2 boys in the business.
2 boys in the business, all lefties.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, do you want me to give your Instagram handle or not?
Yeah.
All lefties.
I need followers, right?
All lefties is your Instagram handle, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And so you have these 3 boys. And by the way, another shout out to you as a parent and Donna is that all your boys went to college.
Yes.
On scholarships.
All play baseball. Yeah.
All pitchers?
All lefty pitchers.
That's unbelievable.
All lefties.
Yeah. All lefty pitchers, all on scholarships to play college ball.
It's pretty cool. And they all have rings because they all won their conference one year.
Shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Casey won his conference, and I think it was his freshman year. He went to a small school in Odessa, Texas, UTPB, University of Texas Permian Basin. Friday Night Lights. You ever see Friday Night?
Yeah.
Permian Basin. They're good. And Dylan went to a small school, Briarcliff in Iowa. They won their conference. And Caden started off in JUCO at Chandler Gilbert Community, then transferred to Point Loma in San Diego. That one year he was a mid-season transfer, and they went to the College World Series Division II, which was really cool. So they all have rings winning their conference. I have a really cool pick. Well, can you put my Instagram handle at the bottom?
I'm good. I am good. I'm going to put your Instagram handle at the bottom. I'm good. I'm going through the notes just to make sure.
Can I do hey everybody, hey, right here is my, and then you can edit.
Yeah, because you like to post on social media. You're a prolific social media poster.
It. She's like, stop posting,
but they're pretty good.
Yeah,
you got the convertible caddy running down.
Is it bragging? Is social media bragging, or is it like you want to, you kind of want your friends along to enjoy the journey with you, right? And
well, you know what?
We're traveling a lot now, and
I think that's a great subject. By the way, let's just go into that a little bit, because I think that my feeling is that Facebook enhances my family relationships in Instagram or whatever. It's a fine line, right? I mean, especially when we're our age, the kids are like rolling their eyes and whatever the deal is. But for me, I like seeing what my friends from high school and college and things that are doing.
It's meant to be fun, right?
Yeah, it is meant to be fun. And you make it fun. You're not you're not, I mean, you are in, here's the way that I look at you. You are enjoying your life. Yeah. And if I had been through this shit that you had been through,
right.
I just look at you as a joyful person that's enjoying your life and appreciating your life. And some people may look at it as, a little showy, whatever. I don't get that from you, because I know you real well, and you've got a great heart, and you're just having fun.
Thank you.
I think you're glad to be here, I think.
Yeah, I think now, I mean, we're all on borrowed time, right? We're all in line, right?
Right.
But I think now, just the stuff I went through, I know it sounds cliche, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I'm just trying to live life. I'm having fun. I kind of did the American dream, right? I started a company, sold it to private equity, and hence I'm still working for them, right? Because
by the way, the largest we won't get into too many deals, but it's the largest building materials company in the nation.
Second biggest in the nation.
Second in the nation. Yeah.
It's USLBM, right?
Okay. And you and your partners did very well.
Yeah. I'm still on. My other two partners did really well, and they're still doing some other things. We still talk a lot, and me and my one partner Boyd, we still do some stuff together. So as I started pushing a broom to selling the private equity to beating cancer, I guess. Yeah, and have 3 beautiful boys and grandkids now. Right, my beautiful wife Donna, and she's a great grandmother, and I have 2 grandsons now. Jack's 4, Nolan's 1, and we're on baby watch for number 3. All boys. Henry's coming. Are we allowed to say that?
I think so.
It's out, right?
Yeah,
it's tough.
I get in trouble all the time.
Yeah, it's like, are we allowed to post it? Can I say it? Are we not allowed?
I think so.
I guess my nickname's Dean, the rumor queen. So.
By the way, the rumor, well, it's not a rumor. Your newest grandson's, now, what's Jack's full name? Your first grandson?
Oh, Jack Randall Rana.
Okay, and then Casey had a second boy, right?
Yeah, so Nolan Dean Rana.
And by the way, you are going to be in some good company because apparently Dylan's son, Caroline's son, is going to be Henry Dean Rana.
Yes.
Now, let me just share a little middle name action with you. So my first son, my oldest son, Derek, is Derek Gregory Sprunk. And then I actually pulled off a twofer and got Cameron Gregory Sprunk. Then, when the first grandson came, I got Dillinger Gregory Sprunk. And then everybody shut me out.
So
and
that's
everybody's
3.
sick and tired. I got 3.
So I got 2 now, so I'm trying to...
No, that's not bragging, by the way. I'm just merely stating facts.
You can beat me in some things.
Well, that's only but the middle name thing, I just secretly aside, is kind of
so going back to the middle name, I'm actually Kenneth the Dean Rana, go by Dean.
Really?
Yes.
I could be calling you Big Kenny the whole time. I never.
Kenny, Big Ken. Right?
Kenny.
So my dad. I'm am I 25% Filipino?
Yeah, that's what you said.
So my dad was half Filipino. I don't know where we're going with this, but
you're going to the background of family. How about your dad? Was your dad?
My dad passed about 4 or 5 years ago. My mom is still alive. She's close to me. And I have 2 siblings. I'm a middle child. My younger brother John and my older sister Mary. Nice, and they're local. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so one of the questions I had what was the most unexpected part of going through the sale of your company? What was the thing that kind of surprised you? Because you never sold a company before.
No, so that's, and why do you sell? When do you sell? How do you sell? So I think it was a difficult process. I had a really good broker, a plugger, Margaret Whelan Associates. Amazing.
Nice.
I would see her a lot at all these different seminars and stuff we went to, and she was
textbook network marketing. It sounds like
she was a big, she was vocal in our industry and helped a lot of people succeed in our industry, and she was passionate for it. So I just actually LinkedIn direct message one day. It's like, hey, I'm thinking about selling. Then we started coming back and forth, and then I think a year later, actually no, we started touching base a little bit, and then a year later I asked her, and she said, well, what's your EBITDA? What's your revenue? And I told her, and she goes, call me now. Now's the time to do it. Let's do it.
I have to tell you, from an outsider who doesn't have a lot of experience with that, your timing couldn't have been any better.
Crazy, right? That
was unbelievable.
2.5 years ago. So I think we were probably the last deal before M&A really shut down.
Yeah.
My lawyer called me and says, hey, Dean, I'm in the middle of 10 deals right now, and 8 of them just canceled. And how well do you know your buyers? And I'm like, oh, shit. I think I know them pretty good. And called up one of my buddies, one of the guys that was doing our sale. And it's like, hey, man, is everything good? He goes, well, it's not great, but we still want to buy you, and we're going to make this work.
And they stuck with it.
But probably at a discount. I'm like, no. No, I'm just It's like, yeah, well, the deal we put together, I need 10% less. No, so fair deal, right? Great. Love the people that bought me. But yeah, the process.
They could have canceled. They didn't cancel.
Absolutely.
And they didn't change the price, like you said. And
I think they're pretty excited. 2.5 years later, they got a good deal.
Yeah. So going back to my earlier question, what was the most, maybe unexpected is not the right word. What was the most surprising thing, or what was maybe the biggest takeaway from that? I was in a lot of situations where I just wasn't knowledgeable about it, right? And it puts you in a really uncomfortable situation, right? Especially, I think our last year we did 120 million in sales, right? So it's not like we're just flipping a, little. It's not like you got a
business,
jigsaw
right?
in the backyard.
And I wanted a multiple off of the prior years, which were unexpected, right? I mean,
good years.
People had some really good years, and they're like, no, we're going to go back, and look at a fair multiple. So great deal. But yeah, the amount of lawyers don't sleep, accountants don't sleep. I think we had 4 different lawyers on a deal and probably 5 CPA firms doing the deal. So every morning I would wake up and I had to have a smart sheet from hell. I'm going to plug a really important person during the transition. Shonda Henderson was a family friend forever. Our kids played baseball together. We're going to Mexico one time. This was kind of, I said, hey, you should come work for me. I think I already beat cancer. And one of my GMs just left to take a new opportunity in Florida. And I got back into business. It's like everything's good, but I don't want to just work this hard. And I don't want to reinvent everything. So we were driving to Mexico. I go, you should work for me. And blah, 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 laughed it off, came back to work Monday. And I'm like, I'm calling her. You need to come out here, check this out. She knew about the business, but she didn't know how big it was. She came out here and said, holy crap, Dean, I didn't know you were this big. I go, yeah, I need this. Because I was starting new companies after new companies. I had a crane business, I had a wall panel business, a lumber business, a truss business. And we just kept blowing these up. And I really surrounded myself with good people and, some family and really close friends, which a lot of people are like, why you hire family and friends? Well, if you have the right formula, it works. And really it worked well. So she comes on board, is doing a great job. I go, oh, by the way, I'm thinking about selling the company. She goes, what? I just started. I go, no, but they're going to love you. So she was the one kind of.
Really?
Because my son was in the College World Series during the sale. So I was traveling back and forth and we're getting these smart sheets, I'm on East Coast time. And so she did a lot of that work for me. And she actually just got promoted at the company that bought us a really good gig.
That's awesome.
Because they know that Dean Rana didn't know that Shonda did.
Let's go back to the family and friends thing, because that's something that's interesting to me. I noticed about you, and it seems to work in your favor. I have always, in my career of owning this company for like 33 years, I've kind of kept a separation. Like I love the people that work for me, and I think they know that I do anything I could do for them. But I've always kind of kept a separation of it a little bit. You don't. When you have your kids' friends and family and people like that, and you touched on something, you said it works really well if you have it set up right. Why do you think it works well for you? And
Trust.
For a lot of people, it doesn't.
If my kids are going to rip me off, anyone's going to rip me off, right?
Yeah. Well, the kids, I understand. It's their friends and family and other stuff.
So I'm a firm believer in like just young, fast talent.
Yeah.
Promoting your business. Our industries, they call it like pale male stale, right? It's just a bunch of old dudes that have been in the business forever. And
similar to mine.
So where's, how are we going to grow our industry? How, where's the new talent coming from? So with having 2 boys in the business, I tackled
that played baseball and had lots of friends and were social.
Right? Went to them. They're winners, right? They know how to grind. Yep. They know how to go to college and go to practice every day. So work ethic's huge, right?
Yep.
And they're competitive, very competitive. So yeah, I grabbed these kids and I said, we live in Gilbert, Arizona, and my business was in Glendale, 67th and Northern, kind of a rough area. So bringing all these little privileged white kids from Gilbert to the west side was a big experience for them, right? They're getting pulled over on the way to work. You see 4 white kids in a car in the middle of the hood. They're like, what are you guys doing here?
You guys are out of your area.
Yeah. So getting profiled a little bit, right?
Reverse profile.
So no, I threw them in the yard, building trusses. They hated it. It's 120 degrees. It was a tough job. I go, hey man, you just got to learn the product. You don't have to be great at it. You got to know the process, because this is going to lead to good things down the road. Get you in the office. You can start, business is business. I don't care if you're making Nike shoes, Rolex watches, trusses, right? Manufacturing is manufacturing, advertising, inventory control.
Man, by the way, you are a truss fan, because you just use trusses in the same sentence as Rolex and Nikes.
Right?
I'm not sure everybody could do
I know
that.
you have a Nike connection.
But I appreciate it. I do.
Yeah, you have a big Nike connection. You still have the password for the website? Can we get those?
Yeah.
50% off, maybe more?
Well,
I don't want the 30% off one. I want the 80%.
Well, it's like 40.
So I grabbed these kids and now, jumping ahead, 10 years or however that.
But those kids, they're friends. But your sons, I understand, right? Because they want to follow in your footsteps, and they're doing a great job, and they've got they got the gene pool. The friends and the people around those kids and friends, they all are coming up there with you and still working through there with you. I mean, a lot of them.
Most of them are still here with great jobs. I mean, if you look at, the company that bought me bought 5 other businesses here, and, through when you start trying to grab, a bunch of companies together, you look at synergies and you start trying to look at, efficiencies, and, you don't need 9 guys at each company doing that. We can bring that down to 2, and you kind of, through attrition a little bit and stuff, you kind of like look at your workforce, and, probably most of the people at Truss Fab are still involved in Arizona building supply.
Oh, that's great.
Which is good. So yeah, I made trusses kind of cool, right? I had cool swag, right? Swag is a big deal.
Yep.
Cool logo I thought was pretty cool. And you could walk around downtown Gilbert and you see our hats and shirts, because I was just throwing them everywhere, right? Because it was kind of a cool logo. And when the kids were in high school, I was throwing shirts to all the baseball team and everybody wanted to wear it. So when these, kids came along, they thought it was cool.
They wanted to be part of the deal.
Yeah. And I always say, surround yourself with good people, right? Hire people better than you, smarter than you. Don't be afraid of, being challenged. And, like I said, when I was selling my business, I'm in a room full of lawyers that, MIT grads, and I'm sitting there going, okay, is it EBITDA? Right. So, yeah, but I made it through it, right? I talked my way through it, and it worked out. So,
well, you have a good attitude about it. You came in here today, and we got some cameras set up here in the deal, and you said something I thought was very interesting, and you said, "I'm out of my comfort zone, but I love it." Not a lot of people like that. I mean, you that's kind of your deal. I mean, you don't have any fear of being out of your comfort zone. And I think that comes...
I think we all have insecurities, right?
Yeah, but was it always like that? Or did the cancer switch a button, put a switch on you on that to just kind of say, F it, I'm going to...
I don't know. I think,
Were you always like that when you were younger too?
Yeah, I just, the challenge, it's work ethic, right? You can't teach work ethic, and you just got to get in it and get dirty and do it.
Yeah.
And some people shy away from challenges, right? I mean, we all, there's some things that we don't want to tackle, right? Because, we're winners and we want to win at it. Right. But, you throw it my way, I'm going to handle it. And, I'm a talker. I like to meet people. I like to just throw myself out there. I'll sit and, chat about stuff. I have nothing, and I'll ask dumb questions. And some people just don't want to do that, right?
I love that part about you.
Sometimes, your intelligence challenged a little bit, right? But I just said no big words during the podcast, right?
I think we've kept it fairly remedial for the two of us.
And you're a good host.
Well, the thing about me is I am an introvert, and I kid about not liking people. I like people that I'm close to, and I like spending time with people I'm close to. But I really like one-on-one conversations, and I'm very naturally curious, I found out. I really like finding out. And I like hearing people's stories. I think it's kind of fascinating. And one of the reasons I do the podcast and started doing it, one of the reasons was, of course, my wife said, you should do a podcast. You have a good voice. And then she says, when I did the first one, and she said, you really seem to enjoy that. And I said, you know what? I really do. I I want it to be something like I said to you before, where when people come on here and they talk about their story, that they share that with their friends and their family and their kids and their grandkids and come away with it. And you're a perfect
no script, right? Just two guys hanging out. Actually, this setup's pretty awesome. You got to you got to pan it and show everybody later, right?
Yeah, I'll have them take a little.
Very comfortable. This is fun, right?
Yeah, we have a new sign coming that says the Sprunken It Podcast is going to be up there. It's coming in tomorrow, so one day early.
I think we need to promote it and grow it.
I think it's fun for me. I like doing it. Okay, I got a couple other questions for you.
Mm-hmm. Did you send me these questions? Because
they're on the notepad that I've sent you 2 or 3 different times. Yeah, on the note, a shared note. Why do you think you've been successful? Have we kind of covered that maybe already a little bit?
Work ethic, right? I wake up. When I ran my business, I was an hour drive away, and I would wake up at 3 a.m. I'd come home at 8 o'clock at night. You got to put the time in.
The basics.
You got to grind, right? You got to have that work ethic, especially, when it's your own company. Obviously it's easier to put in more time, right? But to get the buy-in from the associates, that it's not their company and they were loving the company more than me. I would leave before them. I'm like, guys, it's 9 o'clock, get out of here. Right. But those are the things that made our company successful, was the work ethic. And, I grind. I'm a grinder, and I'm still grinding. I don't have to grind. I mean, I
know.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? My life's good. Right. I bought the boat, bought the house, did all that. Right. That's over now. Right. So now what am I going to do to stay busy and have fun?
Second house.
I'm still going to do stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to still grind.
And so I think, just in looking at you, I think it's with a lot of people, but work ethic, personality, because I think you can have a great work ethic, but if you don't have a personality that you like people and you're in a sales job and you're in a sales position and you don't come off as being interested or curious, or which you're very much so, like you say, you go on, and by the way, your son Dylan has inherited that deal. Dylan, we can't get him off the dance floor at any gathering that we're at. He'll be out there dancing by himself. By the way,
my kids are fun. My kids are.
Well, I have most experience with Dylan, because obviously he's.
So my oldest he's actually top salesman for our company. He's a grinder like me. That kid can sell, man.
So it's a combination of personality and work ethic, I think, too. You can't just have one or the other.
And Dylan just got a great promotion. He's running the lumber yard in the East Valley, huge. And my youngest just got a job at Schwab. So he's trying to manage my portfolio, but I said, not yet, son. You're 6 months in. Actually, he's like, Dad, I'm not ready for that. But so we have a little fun account. Yeah. And, He's a big Tesla guy.
He's getting his chops.
Tesla crushed it the other day. He's like, Dad, look at this. I
think Elon may have a new cabinet position.
Yeah.
What I mean?
We're going to do politics?
Speaking of efficiency, no, I don't think we should do
religion.
Let me just say, the only thing I'll say on the politics side is,
actually, let's let everybody know.
It's a good day.
We have a new president today. We do. So I don't know when this is going to air or what.
Very good point. We woke up this morning, and right now, I think the popular vote, the electoral vote, the Senate, and maybe, we don't know yet for sure, but possibly the House of Representatives. So
all I know is I looked at my Schwab account. It was really good today.
My account was up a little bit, not as much as yours by far, but it was good.
So work ethic, right? Grinding. Come up, wake up. Like I said, I'm 54 and I still have a lot to accomplish. So, and I like to bring people with me. So obviously I had a liquidity event, right? So now I can take that, and the people that have kind of helped me get here. Yep. I want them to experience it. Yeah. And how we're going to do that, we'll figure that out.
That's good. I think it's awesome. Okay. Speed questions. We're getting near the end of the deal. We're going to do some speed questions. You ready? Person you admire the most or has been the most influential in your life?
There's so many, right? I mean,
you can name
my wife was,
that's a good answer.
Let's talk about it. I mean, I was, she was the bread winner, right? Is it runner or winner?
Winner, really?
Right, yeah. So she was
bringing home the bacon.
She was a dental assistant. She was crushing. I was just a dumb kid building trusses for probably $10 an hour back then. I don't know. Really? Minimum wage when I was working was like $3.35, I think. So I was probably making $10 and
$3.35. Geez, you weren't it was not the 50s.
No, I'm telling you, it was $3.35 an hour at like 89, I think.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, no, my wife, the struggles that we went through kind of raising 3 boys, and owning a business to almost going out of business. I was probably 1 hour from going out of business during the recession, and I survived it. But the things we've been through, and we've been married so long, and our kids are great, right? I have no complaints. We got grandkids, we got kids. I'm kind of an asshole sometimes, right? I worked a lot of hours trying to build Truss Fab, and for her to stick around and be here now we get to enjoy.
You guys are living life.
We get to enjoy it now.
You're living
right?
life.
Because we're a very close family, right?
Yep,
we're very close with her side of the family and mine, and we do everything together. But yeah, your personal. That's personal, right? Okay. Yeah, and then professional.
Yeah.
Man, actually, I had lunch with a guy yesterday, and he listened to one of my podcasts because he's like, "How come you never said my name?" But I think I should say his name's Pat Bichelle, right? He was one of my first bosses when I came into the office designing trusses in like 92.
Yeah.
Very smart, tough on me, really hard on me because he must have saw something. And I would design all the trusses, and I'd print them out, and I'd put them on his desk, and he would just go through probably 10 red Sharpies. And I'm like, come on, man, this guy over here, it's the same design. He's not going to go anywhere. I can make you better. So a little shout out to Pat Bichelle, right? And
was he the cousin?
No, he was.
Did he work for the cousin?
No, he was working. He was design manager at the time.
Okay.
So when I came in, so he taught me the design side.
Okay.
Another shout out to Jim Davis, who was my cousin.
Okay.
That brought me into the business and gave me a shot in the yard and showed me how to build. And so he was the first one to give me a shot in the business. He's still in the business, by the way.
Is he?
And then my old owner, Jeff Campbell, which owned Triangle Truss, the company I worked for, I remember, because I moved up pretty fast there.
Yeah.
He told me one day, I remember this, he said, "Hey, you're going to own your own truss plant one day." I'm like, "I don't know, man." And we're going to.
Wow, that's
He passed
crazy.
a few years ago.
Oh.
Probably one of the smartest guys I know in the truss business, but just couldn't balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
Right? He was an innovator, and some of the things that we're still trying to talk about and do today, he was talking about those 20 years ago.
Really?
So he was ahead of his time.
All right. Big shout out to him.
Yeah.
By the way, we are located about 5 minutes from the Sky Harbor Airport. We'll see if these planes that are coming over right now in the background, I think maybe it lends to the authenticity of the
I love
occasion. It might not. Okay. Best place you've been to so far? Favorite place that you've been to so far?
So, oh man,
You're a traveler.
I love traveling. I love going to the Caribbean. Just got back to a Europe trip for the first time, but I really liked this place. I stayed in Turks and Caicos, man. It was a small place. You went there, I went to the private island.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot the name of it, but maybe a 20-room hotel, just
that's
magical on an island, the water, beautiful. And then we went to the Ritz after was that Providenciales, right? That's the bigger island.
Yep.
Turks Caicos, amazing. Love the Caribbean.
Yep.
Love the Bahamas, right?
Okay.
Love it all.
How about?
I'm a huge Mexico guy.
Are you?
You're afraid of Mexico.
I'm not saying I'm afraid of it. I wouldn't say it's not first choice. You know what I mean?
Mexico.
I don't know. There's something about when you're walking down on the beach and relaxing with your wife, and you got a cabana, you have your drinks going on, and then you've got a couple of guys walking down with full bulletproof vests and ARs and things like that.
And,
it kind of adds.
And Italy, those guys are stacked, right? They're packing everywhere,
Are they?
Right? So Hawaii.
I like guns, by the way.
Let's talk about Hawaii,
saying.
right?
Okay.
Great spot.
Yeah.
Are you a Hawaii guy?
I am a Hawaii guy. In fact, we were just talking about the other night about going back to there.
Hawaii's beautiful, right? But you know what Hawaii is?
Well, you got a butt coming.
It's a bunch of privileged kids working there that don't want to hustle. Excuse me, can I get a chair by the beach? They're like, oh, hold
really?
on. Yeah, it felt like that. You go to Mexico.
But it's in the U.S. of A., so it's,
Well, you go to Mexico, they're running out big tables and chairs, bucket of beers, let's go. Not that I want it, but they just appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right? And then if you want to get a drink in Hawaii, it's $45 for a Mai Tai.
Really?
You can get a bucket of beers in Mexico for $3. Maybe
Where
not
are
$3.
you? Well, I was going to say, where are you staying at?
No, you
Not
go
the
to
places you stay at.
Cabo, right?
Yeah.
Playa del Carmen, right?
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
We have a little town that's 4 hours south of here.
Rocky
Puerto
Point.
Penasco, Rocky Point.
Yep.
Love it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
My wife's a little nervous about it now, but I've never felt uncomfortable. But so great place, Turks Caicos. Europe was cool, but I still got to feel it out more.
Yeah.
Right? It was a lot.
Still like the Caribbean.
25,000 steps a day.
Ooh.
Right. It was a lot. We just went.
Wow. Okay. Favorite music group?
Got a couple.
Go.
Remember,
we can do more than one.
so when you have three boys, right? There's.
Oh, you're going to span some time here, aren't you?
No, I don't know. I think
I'm talking your favorite music group.
I listen to everything, right? I mean, I was a Bobby Brown guy coming up, right?
Oh.
Every little step,
New kids
right?
on the
little bit, right?
Yeah.
That was Ralph Tresvant, that was Bobby Brown, that was Johnny Gill, that was.
Oh, you
all
got
them.
names. You're naming names.
But my nickname's Kane. Long story, but
That's your rap name?
so Big Daddy Kane. he's a group. I get the job done. Google it. Great song.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm in the country right now.
Yeah.
I'm really into it. Makes me feel good. Right.
Yeah. Okay. How about things you can't stand?
Laziness.
Yeah. I got that one.
Everyone's got their hand out and they don't want to work for it. And,
Yep.
People were questioning me. It's like, oh, Dean's got all this. I'm like, well, I worked for it. Right? I mean, if you want to start your own company, go start your own company. Right. No one's stopping you. Right. So yeah, I can't stand people just with their hand out and don't want to work for it.
Okay. Best part of success?
My Schwab account.
What a great
answer. Just the financial freedom.
Yeah.
Right. And knowing that I know money's not everything, but it helps a lot.
They say money doesn't buy happiness, but do you
kind of does.
Kind of does.
Because it's put me in situations that maybe I wouldn't have been able to do before that have actually led to better things.
Yep.
So I just have the opportunity now to experience different things and, expand who I am.
And it brings you, I'm assuming, peace, right?
Absolutely. Right. And
lack of anxiety.
Knowing, if I do it right, my last check will bounce. Right. So
shout out to the boys there on
yeah. So, hey, if you're hanging out for the trust fund, man, you better,
right.
But what's nice about that is I don't have to worry about that because my kids are grinders. Yeah. Right. I never spoon fed. I mean, people may.
That's a very big deal, by the way. I have 3 boys and feel that way about them.
They work hard. Right. Yeah. And they, did they get a little benefit of the doubt here and there? Right. Yeah. Of course. Right. Because that's, as parents, we want to make sure, we're showing our kids the correct path. And
the Christmas presents have gotten better over the years.
You can say it.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm not saying it. No.
I bought the 3 rollies. It's an investment.
I don't want them to get like tracked down.
Let's not have it in this year.
Yeah.
Okay, kids, you know what? You're not getting shit now because Greg just ruined it for you. He's labeling me.
Okay, I said best part of success. Is there a worst part of success?
Kinda. Your work ethic kind of goes down a little bit.
You're relaxing. You're not comfortable relaxing?
No. And
you got to learn how to relax though a little bit.
I know. But see, I've always balanced work and play pretty well.
Yeah.
Right. But I think now it's like, what's my next move?
Really?
Right? Am I,
You're restless though. I know that enough about you and that buying and selling houses and the deals.
So right before this,
stuff,
I was out on 335th Avenue and I-10 looking at 30 acres with a couple guys that we're probably going to build a bunch of houses out there. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking at different things and, I still love what I do. USLB, I'm still employed by the company that bought me. I still add value and, I'm very passionate about, making sure, I think, when you sell to private equity that you want to make sure all your associates are taken care of, the people that helped you get there.
Yep.
And I can actually, if I walked away today, I can honestly say I feel good about the deal.
Yep.
And my associates having the opportunity for so much more. Because as a private employer, that you get capped out, right?
Yeah.
But now you have a company that has 500 locations and the opportunity for growth and different things, the different product lines there's so much more, right?
But not everybody loves it. Not everybody survives in it, right? Because it's a corporate deal versus that personal family.
This is another podcast, so yes, it is different, right? But I gave up a lot of money to go with this company, and because they're huge in culture, right?
Yep.
Big company's hard, right?
Yep.
It's clunkier, right? We know that, because you can't just cut a check fast, or you can't do that, right? There's SODs, right? But it's challenging. It's not for everybody.
But the people that are there that thrive in that culture are going to have more opportunities than they would
Absolutely.
normally. Yeah, that's the positive part.
But you kind of do lose that little human touch a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say you're just a number, but you kind of they're
not going to take the whole gang over to the Wild Horse Casino and spend the night and give them money to gamble with. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Okay.
No, but I got a cool boss. That he likes to have fun, and the company does like to have fun.
That's
so
good.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good balance.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell you,
we could have went more.
We can,
right?
We can still talk.
But I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. And the other.
But thank you for this free cigar.
You're welcome.
And water.
Yep. Don't forget the phone holder.
Great setup.
Yep.
Can we
thank you for doing this, by the way.
Sound guy over here, he's going to get on camera.
Yep. Gabe.
Right.
Yep.
It's a small staff. This thing could grow.
It could grow. I just like doing it. I'm not quitting my day job, and I really appreciate you coming on and sharing.
It kind of makes you feel special, like I'm somebody.
Well, you are somebody, and you're not just somebody to me. You're somebody to a lot of people, and you've made a big impact on a lot of people's lives. Not just your kids, not your families, but obviously the people that you work for and work with. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on here, because I think you're a very genuine, quality guy. I'm proud to be your friend and relative now, and I'm glad that you came on here, and I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product on this. And for those of you that are watching or listening, we're going to be on YouTube. This is our second video on YouTube, and then we've got the Sprunkinit podcast on sprunkinit.com. So that's SPRUNKINIT. Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Am I missing anything, Gabe? Google Play,
Snapchat.
No Snapchat, no TikTok.
But I do want to say one more thing, right?
All right.
I
already wrapped it up, but go ahead.
I know, but we can edit it back. That's a good thing about editing, right? You can cut a good editor. You'll never know.
Very authentic, this podcast.
These are kind of fun, right? But you get out of your comfort zone, right?
Yep.
But I mean, if anybody clicks on this, this is going to be around forever,
right?
Right. So, I just want to say, I'm going to get.
I hope Henry listens to this.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say, I'm here for a reason, right? I surround myself with good people. I worked my ass off.
Yep.
I never took it for granted anything. I still value $10, right? Once you lose value, once you kind of lose the concept of reality, you kind of can just spin off. So I just want to thank everybody that's helped me get here. And, I'm not done. And if you've impacted my life, you're still in my life. A lot of people, right? It's not like we're out there trying to make a lot more friends.
Right. Let's
take care of the friends we have and family, right? Yeah. That's everything to me.
Yep.
And I want them to experience what I experience. So however I do that, I don't know. But if, you helped me get here in my family family's everything. I love my boys, love my grandkids, love my wife, love my brothers and sisters, mom,
in-laws,
RIP dad, in-laws, right? And I want to say thanks. And, I think my story is kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
I pushed the broom all the way to selling, beating cancer and having a family and still being married after all these years and having a family that loves each other.
Huge accomplishment.
I think that's a big deal.
And that's really what it's all about.
And I can honestly say there's not a lot of stories like that.
No.
Because I'm pretty much self-made, right?
Yep.
Mom and dad didn't give me this company. I built it.
Yep.
And I sold it.
Yep.
And I would have loved to kept it for my boys, but I had a couple partners, right? So if it would have just been mine, I would have kept it and have my boys run it. But
you're the quintessential. I make sure I'm saying this right. You're the quintessential American success story. And I'm people that know you're proud of you, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
All right.
It was fun.
Okay.
Good times.
Good.
I'm glad it's. I kind of don't want it to be over, but it was real fun.
Let's just turn this deal off, and then we can just order lunch, and we can still keep talking.
Yeah, with the mic here.
We can hear us. We'll just keep talking with our headphones.
What's the name of the show again? The
Sprunkin' It Podcast.
Watch it, and if you get a chance, do it because it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
Plug.
All right.
Peace out, everybody.